I would dream, this is what I dream. My dream is that social media will be like smoking, and there will be a health warning, and you will not be allowed to go on it until you're 18, sometimes 21. I'm sorry to be so negative.
No,
but it's true.
You're being real.
Realistic, yeah.
Yeah.
Você se lembra dessa música? Travis é uma banda de rock escocesa formada em Glasgow em 1990, que teve muito sucesso com seu segundo álbum, The Man Who, de 1999. O disco passou 9 semanas no primeiro lugar da parada de álbuns do Reino Unido e vendeu mais de 2,5 milhões de discos apenas na região. Depois de 11 anos sem shows da banda no Brasil, Fran e Andy visitaram os estúdios da Antena para contar sobre sua nova turnê. Para saber mais sobre essa e outras entrevistas, acesse antena1.com.br. Oi, gente, eu sou a Julia da Dama. A gente tá aqui com o Fran e o Andy da Banda Travis para falar sobre a sua turnê do Brasil e do seu álbum L.A Times. So, welcome back to Brazil. I hope you guys feel very good here because we're so excited to have you. So, let's get started.
Okay.
It's been 11 years since you played here. So, I wanted to know, what are your guys' expectations for the show and how does it feel to be back?
How does it feel to be back? It's amazing because we love Brazil. And the last time we played here, I've been talking all day about it, but the last time we played here, the show was not so good. Like the audience didn't, because we grew up in Scotland. We watched Brazil, the football team. We watched the fans, and we were just like, Scottish people love Brazilians. We just love you guys because you're just like us.
When we were making the Man Who, it was the first match of the World Cup in France with Scotland, Brazil, and we went to it where we were making the Man Who, and it was the greatest party ever.
We're like beside all the Brazilian fans going, and so we come to Brazil to play a festival, and we were so excited. We walked out and people were just like this.
Really?
Oh my God. And we went off stage. We played. You would not know that we were having a bad show. Like we were going, but during the show when you have an audience who are not
crazy,
they're just kind of looking at their watches going, but we're like really playing hard, and we all came off and we were so depressed. Do you remember? And because we had this thing, so we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow night. We and so have you
to make it up
to make up for lost time.
And I know you supported the Killers as a special guest in their tour just before you released L.A Times, when there was only Gaslight and Bust Out. So I was wondering if that felt like a test run to get to know the vibe of the crowd and to think about how would the set list be in this tour.
Yeah, the new songs we were trying to. We had Gaslight and Alive, and what else did we have? Raze the Bar,
I can't know.
Yeah, no. But yeah, there were a lot of new songs in the set, and they went down really well. And the thing with the new songs is they've sat with the old songs really well. Sometimes you'll put in new songs and they just don't sort of play well. But the set is found magnificent at the moment. There's about 6 new songs in there, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, it's the first time we've come in 8 years with an album tour. Yeah. Where we're playing. This is the album. Although I have to confess that we maybe called the tour the wrong name.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I think the tour should have been called Full Circle, because I feel like we are we've come full circle. I feel like we're. If you live long enough, you sort of come back around again. And the stage set reflects this, because you'll see if you come to the gig what it looks like. And the album sort of reflects that. And the funny thing is that within that circle, within that is us. And even though we're older, I don't think we've changed so much. I don't think the essence of what we are has changed a single bit, and we're very essentially the same type. We're the same people.
That's so cool. I was going to ask you why. I know that you told that it was the wrong name, but I was going to ask you why Raze the Bar and not L.A Times. for the name of the tour.
I think the L.A Times is very specifically about one song, even though the album's named it and it was a good name for the album and it worked with the cover. It's just one song, the album, and Raze the Bar sort of felt like, at the time we were talking about the tour, it's just a celebration.
It's because the song on the album Raze the Bar is a bit of bar, and bars are where people all come to, and it's a leveling thing. You walk into a bar and real good bars, like proper bars, not a bar in a hotel or a bar not a fancy bar, but a bar where we come from Glasgow in the UK, where there's a lot of pubs. And when you go in, everyone's the same. When you come into a show, everyone's the same. When you go to see a gig, you might hang your jacket in the cloakroom, but you're also, there's an invisible cloakroom in a show where you hang up your troubles. You hang up you might be feeling like you might be having a bad time, and you've got this ticket, and then you go and you just hang it up for an hour or two, and you go, and everyone's level. Even the band with us, it's like level, and we're sharing this 2 hours in the room, and that's why we called it Raze the Bar, because the song is about this bar, and bars are about bringing people together and leveling and escaping. So that's why we called it Raze the Bar.
That's so cool. It's so true about every good show.
Yeah.
And Fran said that L.A. Times is your most personal album since The Man Who, which was written where there was a lot of changes going on in your lives. So looking back, what was it like to do the songwriting process again more than 20 years later when the concerns and issues are so different?
I don't think this. So every song's kind of different. I think in 1994, 95, 96, 97, 98, that 5-year period of my life was tumultuous. It was like there was a lot of stuff going on, very emotional. Like dropping out of art school, the shame of that, going, they all stayed on in art school, and I suddenly, when you're out, and you're no longer in this nice little zone where you can be arty-farty. Then I got dumped. Then my granddad died. Then we moved to London. And all these things, it's like, like a snow globe. You shake it up, and it's just like, and you're like, what's inside? And throughout your life, I think there's maybe, like if your life was a snow globe, you get 4 shakes, right? You get one when you're 12. And when the snow disappears, you're different. You look different. You talk different. Then maybe one when you're 21, 22, 23. You get another shake. Then you get one when you're in your 30s. Another shake. You're a parent, or you might even get 5 if you're lucky. But I feel like there was a big shake before The Man Who, and there was a very big shake before this album. And it's not so much the songs are personal, but I think what the songs are dipped in is this very emotional, very tumultuous time, which is very similar to what was happening before The Man Who. So that's kind of why it's similar. It feels similar.
For you too?
Yeah, well, I think you're just always right about what's around you. So if what's around you is going on, things are happening, then the songs will reflect that. And not necessarily, as Fran says, you're not necessarily writing a song personally about him, but your experiences of the only thing you can write about, really, is what's happening to you. It's the only thing you've got any great knowledge of.
Yeah, and I mean, playing, like, if you play a guitar or play an instrument, it's like there's an energy with it. Like if you come into the studio, and as I've done, as you've done, and you're so depressed one day, and you're just like, and you listen to, and then the next day, and then you go, nah, and then you come in, maybe a good example. Here's a good example is a song "Writing to Reach You," which is on The Man Who, which is our second album. Now we tried to record that in Good Feeling with our first album, 1996, and it was weird. It just didn't feel right. And then in 1999, we recorded it again.
Mr. Sean, excuse me. Jet lag's hit me.
Having a senior moment.
Try not to yawn. Yeah.
So we tried to record it in 1996, and then we tried to record it in 1999, and it was completely different. Like, it's like we were different people. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what it's about.
But it's so cool that between the two shakes in your lives, you still remain the same person and you feel the same about the music.
Yeah, I think there's a great saying about, you know, give me the child until the age of 8 and I'll show you the grown up. And it's true. You don't change. You that person you are, it's very hard to change that person.
Now, let's talk about your first single of the comeback, Gaslight. Oh my God, I love the video and the song, and it became even better, and I got to know the story behind it.
Oh God.
About how we were living in a world that gives much attention to gaslighters that undermine you.
Yeah.
So what made you choose it to be the lead single of the new era?
I think that one jumped out of all of them, really. So when you first played me that was the one that was like, it was instant. It was like a really instant hit. And for the first song, you really want to just sort of get people go, hey, this is a sort of drag people in. It's a door into it. And then there's much more sort of, there's depth in there and different things, you know. And it's great. It's great that word is getting usage now, because I think we were talking about it this morning. Before a word exists, sometimes the actual thing doesn't get noticed. You know, it's like when they say certain people have 50 words for snow, they can see all those different snows. It's the same with gaslight, and I think it went unnoticed for so long, and people just got treated so poorly. So once you get the word for it, the action starts getting noticed. And
Sure. Talking about things that go viral on the internet, I saw that you guys only share things on the social media as a band and don't really have an active personal account for each member of Travis on Instagram. So is that an individual choice to stay out of this world of gaslighters? Or how that influenced the promotion of the album also?
I mean, I'm honestly thinking of coming off. I mean, we haven't even talked about it. I think it's, I mean, BMG might disagree with me, but I think that there's a slight amount of illusion to how powerful social media can be amazing if you catch a viral moment. Like, what's the name of the band? Pavement, or Friends in Pavement. They had a B-side that just caught on TikTok. But I know, going on to see what, especially to young girls, what social media, because social media, you got to remember, was invented by, what's the creative side of the brain, the right or the left?
I don't know.
There's the right or left brain people, the analytical, mathematical, spotty dudes in school who sat in the corner, guys that blink a little bit more than other people. Those guys created the internet, and they created social media, but they've got they're quite, they didn't realize, it's hard to say without being rude, they're not soulless, but they never even contemplated the emotional consequences of what they were doing. No one did. I remember when social media started, and I was like, this is great. Look at that video of that funny thing, and now it's because of the algorithm. I mean, the algorithm we'll look back on, I think, this time that we were living through, the last 15, 20 years, the birth of the algorithm, and then we're going into AI and everything like that. But algorithm is something that has pushing people apart. It's pushing people into camps. One camp over here and one camp over here. I mean, come on. I mean, I think everyone's got a lot more in common than we have differences. However, social media is really, it thrives on the differences. And it causes, like I say, especially with girls and my friends, I say that because my friends' daughters have, I mean, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. Some people have lost their children because of it. And And yet, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is sitting going, everything's great. You know, it's like these people, they don't really realize, because they don't have the capacity to realize how harmful it is. I would dream, this is what I dream. My dream is that social media will be like smoking, and there will be a health warning, and you will not be allowed to go on it until you're 18, sometimes 21. My son Clay, for a English an English paper thing, he had to write something to an editor, and I showed him this article about social media and how they were saying, oh, you've got to get kids off it. And he wrote in, as a response to this article, that actually you should take adults off it, because it's them who are filling it with the poison and the vitriol and all the negativity. And when kids just want to go on and have fun, it shouldn't be the kids that go off it, it should be adults that go off it. Anyway, in the future, I would love it. And I think it's so boring and grown up, but if young people were not allowed to be on it, because it's a health risk. Kids are dying because of it. I mean, come on. But it's getting there. You know, California schools right now are banning it in the classroom. You can't bring a phone into school anymore. It's law. It's great. They're getting there. So, you know, they call it the revenge of the nerds. I mean, God, they've really taken over. But I think everything has to be balanced, and it will be.
So no social media, no.
I don't know. I think social media has its place, but I mean, have you not noticed that every single thing you see on not MySpace,
Instagram.
Yeah, not Instagram. I always get them two mixed up. But on Instagram, everyone's trying to sell you something. Even us. It's like, buy our record, you know. But I think buy your record. It's good. It's good for your health. But that little twizzly thing that doesn't do anything, what?
Yeah.
Don't buy that, you know?
Yeah.
But every single post you go there, someone's trying to sell you something. It's like, everything's become an advert. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So bad.
I'm sorry to be so negative.
No,
you
no.
know, but it's true.
You're being real. You're being real.
Realistic, yeah.
Yeah. So, take the negativity. Now, speaking now about another single, Bus, talks about how you spent years waiting for the success to come, and now that you have it, you see so many artists also waiting on that bus. What advice would you give to that version of yourselves, and how do you see the future now that you've gone through all of this?
I wouldn't. What?
I mean, as far as advice, I don't think we could give advice. You know, I think every band finds their own way through things. You know,
Yeah.
I think it'd be foolhardy to say we did this and this worked for us, because a lot of it's happy accidents. A lot of it's just things happen to you, and you're like, oh my God, yeah,
All of it is.
yeah.
Not even some
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. I mean, you say you make your own luck. You be in the right place at the right time, you know. But just work hard. Just try and be at as many things as possible, and then hopefully the luck will hit you. But yeah, there's no master plan that we had, and I don't think there's any master plan that any band can have to do it.
The biggest master plan you can have is just work hard. Don't stop.
Yeah.
If you really love I mean, God, you're doing this job. We're doing this. What a great, crazy. It's not even a job. It's just like, are you kidding me? I'm getting paid to do this. Come on. So that's great, but you need to. It's a lot of work, right? You got to be dedicated and lucky, and yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite from the albums is I Hope That You Spontaneously Combust,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
It's so playful and relatable with this lovely folk pop melody that almost camouflages the rudeness of the song.
Oh yeah.
But how about you guys? Is there a personal favorite from L.A Times?
It changes.
Yeah, for me at the moment, it's Raze the Bar, and I've been talking about it a bit, but it's like a folk song. There's all the people in it exist, you know, and the bar in it exists, and it's captured that moment, because the bar doesn't exist anymore now; it's shut down. So it captures a moment in time, and I love songs that do that. You know,
It's like a photograph.
yeah, songs that are about something. You know, it's like an old black and white photograph.
Yeah.
You find, that's, you know, this happened then. It's things that happen, and that's what I loved about folk music. It was about people, it was about places, and it was about remembering them through that rather than through any other medium. So that's why I love that. So
Yeah, me, I don't know what I like at the moment. 'Cause I haven't listened to the record. I mean, I did listen to the record. I mean, I really, it's weird. I have a love-hate relationship with Gaslight a little bit, because I don't know. I like the honesty of it, and I love that the person that it's about, it's that bit I like.
Oh, you have to tell me.
No, I can't. No, you can't. That's just like, that would ruin everything. But I love the, what do you call it? What's the song? Naked in New York City. Because I started writing it 27 years ago.
Really?
I couldn't finish it. It was just like, every time I got to this bit, it was just like blank.
It's not it.
And then you'd put it on the shelf, and then you'd come back to it and try it again, blank. Blank for 26 years, and then just before in the studio, Dougie was like, "Just try and finish it," and I'm like, I think the pressure of everyone like, and we really need this song. It just finished, and then Tony, the producer, was like, "Right, go and do it," and we did it live, and that's one whole no edits, nothing. So it took 26 years or 27 years to write and 3 minutes to record, which is I love that. And then it's there now. And when I listen to it, I can hear myself, because I just learned it. And so it's like, we recorded it 6 times, and the 3rd time was the one, or the 2nd time?
I think it's the 2nd time.
Yeah. I get just to the end and I'd mess up. And with that bit, I have to go back to the start. And then the more you do that, the more you start making mistakes.
I love that, because the tension's in the recording of it. You know, there's so much music you hear nowadays, it's a layer painted, and they've got to make sure that layer's perfect and nothing's out of place before they put the next layer on top. So there's nothing human about it, you know, because it's so hard. If something's slightly slowing down, it's so hard to do the next layer. So to play music together, if someone slows down, everyone slows down with them or pushes them forward a little bit, and it's a really human experience. And people don't know they're missing it, but I think when you listen to music nowadays, you're missing that human experience of movement.
And so I make the videos for the bands, right? I direct all the stuff, right? And it's really hard. It's because you get no budget, and you have to be in the video and direct the video. So I've got to be behind the camera and in front of the camera. And I hate being in front of the camera. I mean, literally, I can see myself on the screen, and I hate to see. I just have a problem with it. Much prefer to be behind the camera. And the video for the Naked in New York City is I think one of the best videos I've done, because I was sitting in. It just came out 2 days ago, and I was sitting in a hotel room in New York, and it had this giant big window, and just out of the corner of my eye, I saw something sort of in the landscape, because it was looking from downtown to uptown. So you could see the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and all of New York, the water towers. And I grabbed my phone and ran to the window, and there was a little white balloon, just lost, floating over there. And I got my phone out, and I filmed it, and that was the video. And it goes behind buildings, and I'm like, please don't get lost, please don't burst. And then there it comes back again. And there's just this one lovely bit where it kind of floats up and just stops in midair for like about 2 seconds, like it's going, I'll go this way. And then I lose it, and it's beautiful. It's like one of the most beautiful videos I've seen. Because but it chimes in with what you're talking about that thing about the things happening. Let it happen, and there's no effort. It's just like
almost destiny.
Because exactly.
What are the odds?
I know.
To just spot a balloon.
And whose balloon?
New York City.
Whose balloon was that? There's probably. I have trauma, actually, weird trauma from losing a balloon when I was about 6, watching it disappearing into the Glasgow sky, like, and being like, wah! But yeah, whose balloon is that? If it's your balloon, please call this number. We have it. Yes.
And you talked about Raze the Bar. Can you tell me a little bit about what the songs means to you and about the story of the Black and White bar with Brendan Flowers and Chris
Yeah,
Martin.
well, I mean, Fran will tell you about the writing of the song, but it was a place we all used to go to, and the owner's got other bars now. Johnny's got other bars in New York, and they're always amazing. They're always a safe place for musicians to go because there's other cool musicians about, there's other cool artists about. So he always ran the best bars, and this particular one we went to quite a lot. But Fran, you can take over the writing of it.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the. Hold on. Why is it never? Hold on. Yeah, look. There's. So there's. That's the bar. Right. Is that where's the? Can I put it into that?
I think it's
Is that
better
one?
for you
Yeah.
to put it this way.
Oh no, he's changed it. Yeah, okay, can you focus it?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it.
That's the bar, and it's and that there that guy there with the glasses on in the middle. Hold on, him. That's Johnny, and that's his brother Chris beside him. Not the glasses. It's back to front here. That's Chris, and so it's a real bar, and all these characters are in it. There's in the second verse. There's like a guy there. It says Richard's in the kitchen painting shadows of Chris, and Chris is Johnny's brother. Richard Hambleton is this amazing artist from New York. He died 5 years ago. But he was one of the original street artists in New York. What his thing was, he would paint shadows in doorways, like really amazing. And then he took them out of doorways and did them on canvases. And Johnny, the owner of this bar, would, he'd give him money and help artists. And it was like he's a really cool dude. And so Richard Hambleton had the kitchen as a studio, painting shadows of Chris. Anyway, so everyone's in this bar, and it's like a homage to that bar. And now there's a new bar. Like, they had to close it down, but they opened a new one, and it's called Treasure Club, and it's on Orchard and Canal, and it's great. It's a really, really cool bar. And they make great bars. Like, Johnny's like got a thing about making good bars.
Yeah, he wants good people to hang about him, so he makes them good places.
Yeah.
It's not about money; it's about people.
Nice. Okay, so here at Antena 1, we are big fans of the 70s and the 80s. So we found it so cool that you got Paul McCartney to play the bass on your song in 2010.
Yeah.
If you could choose one artist to collaborate with, who would you think of?
Oh, wow, that's good.
Who
Who would you,
collaborate with?
who would you love to play with?
Changes all the time, but I would have loved to play with John Martin, just because I love the way he made songs, and I would have loved to have got involved in it. And
You know John Martin?
John Martin.
There's this, may you never lay your head down without a hand to hold.
Lovely.
Check it out.
Yeah. So John Martin, I think, for me at the moment. How about you?
McCartney.
I've done it, mate.
I've got mine. I'm not really into it. Weirdly, I'm not into that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really. That was more practical,
Yeah.
at the time.
Who to do this the best? Or
Yeah.
he was quite good in the bass.
Yeah, he's pretty good at bass player.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a lot of great reviews from the fans saying that you guys have never lost your charm and how the songs are thoughtful, introspective, nostalgic, and unapologetic. Do you want to send a message to Brazilian fans that waited for you for more than a decade to come back?
Oh man, thank you so much for all your support.
Yeah, obrigado, and thank you for being patient, and those nice words that you were just saying there, because that's what we are. That's what we're like. We're a special band. I don't know any band like us. I don't know loads of bands that are kind of like each other, but I just don't know any band quite like us.
It's like Fran said earlier on, we're really lucky in what we do. We come from the other side of the world, And, you know, we get to come here and see people and see them at the best possible time, which is at a gig. You know, you're seeing smiling faces, you're seeing people thinking about their lives. And that's a real pleasure. It's a real honour that you get to see people at that point in their lives. And that's our job, you know. It's amazing. Thank you for being part of that. You know?
Yes.
Thank you for the interview. We promise that we will be a better crowd this time around.
I know you will. It was just hilarious the last time. I mean, I was like,
I think it was just the wrong place at the wrong time in the festival or something.
Yeah, it was.
It's going to be great.
It was going to be amazing tomorrow.
Thank you.
Foi isso, eu espero que vocês tenham gostado. Acesse antena1.com.br para ver a matéria completa sobre a entrevista.